Hello again folks, I am Blunty, and while this isn't the video I planned on bringing you today, in fact I should have had 2 more videos out by now this week if everything had gone to plan, and obviously everything has not gone to plan. If I can get personal from it, I'm suffering through another bout of insomnia. I'm not sleeping well, my brain is all fuzzy and wibbly, and as fun as that sounds, it kind of destroys my productivity and creativity. Anyway, working hard to get you those videos coming because I've got some really cool products to look at. But as a sort of stopgap measure, I thought I'd put together a quick little video telling you about something that I found today that I think, in fact I know, will be useful to a lot of you out there. And I know this because of how you've responded to any time I mention the GoPro in any of my videos. You guys love that. Now, I use a GoPro as well, but I don't use it as a sports camera or anything like that. You know, I don't cram it onto my snowboard and head down the mountain or jump out of a plane with it or strap it onto a bike and go, you know, through a muddy ditch in the outback somewhere. This is actually how I shoot with mine. I've got it mounted to a photography and cinema little pistol grip there, which I've talked about in videos before. It's a wonderful, very, very comfortable little awesome pistol grip that I use on just about every camera I own at one point or another. Mounted on the top with the naked cage, LCD backpack on the back so I can see what I'm doing, because I use it as a sort of regular camera as opposed to an action sports type camera where you just mount it somewhere and set it and forget it and hope you get good shots. Now I use it as a handheld camera. But the issue with doing it in this setup, and I've used it to great success. I've done vlogs with it, I've shot events with it and used it in combination with other cameras and intercut it, set it to the medium field of view thing, so you get rid of the most extreme of the barrel distortion. You still get a very wide field of view, and it just makes it wonderful for getting into those tight spaces at events and crowded things. And I used it at the Penny Arcade Expo. A few of you might have seen me run around with this thing, taking various shots and bits and pieces. Anyway, the problem with doing it like this is not the results that come with it, because they're brilliant, but it is using it in that sort of situation with the LCD backpack so you can see what you're doing. Your 2-hour battery run time quickly runs down to about 40 minutes to an hour, depending on what video mode you've got it set in, whether you're using Pro Tune or whether you're using the standard setting, or you know, your resolution, your frame rates and all that sort of stuff. All that can affect the battery, of course. So you can get as little as 40 minutes out of stuff, out of a battery like that. And I've got a couple of batteries. I've got another one there. But that, you know, you're forever worrying about how much battery you're chewing through, and you're turning on and off all the time and making sure you know, doing everything you can to conserve the battery life as much as possible, because you're constantly thinking, I've got 2 batteries, I'm going to burn through them in, you know, an hour and a half. I've got to be real careful. And that's where the product that I stumbled across this morning, well, I didn't actually stumble across it, I got an email from Photography and Cinema. Same guys who make the grip, by the way. And I've reviewed a few of their other products as well. They're always fantastic, so I've got great faith in Photography and Cinema. But they're doing something called a CagePro, or they want to do something called a CagePro. So it's a cage that goes around your GoPro, and that's nothing new. There are a few out there, and a couple of them are actually superb. But the thing about Photography and Cinema's CagePro is it's designed so you can snap on an external battery. And not just any external battery, but an LPE, what's the number of it? Give me a sec. LP-E6, which is the standard battery that you will find in Canon DSLRs like this, my 60D. So I've already got a couple of these batteries laying around. So it's designed to run off a couple of those. And they say with one of these, you'll be able to run up to 5 hours on a single one of these. And I've got 3 of these, so I could get through an entire event just letting my GoPro run and never ever have to worry about my battery ever again for the entire day. And in addition to be able to mount a battery on the side of things, let you run and run and run and run and run, it's also got additional mounting points on there, of course, which is, you know, why not? You're getting a cage anyway, why not throwing it through screw mounts there so you can mount a top handle for better handling, maybe put a little extra external mic on there, or mount a light off the side of it or something like that if you're working in dim environments. You know, working with a cage around your camera, even something like the GoPro, can open up huge possibilities for you, and flexibility and power. And even if you don't use your GoPro like I use my GoPro, something like this can still come in massively handy, especially if you like shooting long time lapses. You know, just shoot for hours and hours and hours doing a beautiful long time lapse. And you know, I'm not going to go through all the possible uses for this thing and why it could be so handy to you, because you know better than I do why it's going to be handy to you. But I bet you there are very few GoPro users out there who won't find this immensely useful and just a godsend, you know, coming down shining from the heavens, oh, and music and choir of angels sing as this thing appears in your mailbox at last. They say they're going to want about $100 for it. In my case, it'll probably be somewhere close to $150 once you factor in Australian money conversion rates and postage and stuff like that. But here's the thing, it's not actually on the market yet. They're in the prototyping stage now. They said they've gone through several prototypes and tested it, and they're just about to nail down the final design to make it pure as awesome as they can be. Now, it's not going up on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or anything like that. I mean, this is Photography and Cinema. They've got, you know, the resources to get this thing into the market. You know, they know what they're doing. But they're doing something called Bump It, which is kind of along those lines. What they want to do is get you to either tweet or like the page or stuff. I'll link to the appropriate web page in the comments of this video. But basically what they want to do is gauge the amount of interest out there for this thing, so they can work out, you know, how many they can produce at once, because the more they can make at once, the lower their costs are going to be. And so if there's billions of people out there interested in it, they can, you know, order a massive run of these things and bring their costs right down. If there's only 500 people out there, then that's going to, you know, affect how they produce these things as well. So I guess it's a pretty clever way of doing some market research to find out exactly how much interest there is for something like this out there in the market, and then they can sort of estimate where their sales are going to be. They want just 500 either tweets or Facebook likes. I suggest tweet because Facebook is the scum of the earth as far as I'm concerned. But they're rapidly reaching. I mean, I got the email a few hours ago, and they're already up to sort of 300 odd. So reaching 500 isn't going to be a problem. But I thought I'd bring it to you guys' attention anyway, because the people who are going to find this useful will want to be on the ground floor. So you can throw a tweet or whatever at them, register your interest. And of course, my tweet has already gone out there in the world, because I absolutely want one of these little devices. I think it's just a brilliant idea, and I've seen some people sort of hack together similar ideas, because you can feed in external power to a GoPro fairly easily, so you sort of can hack together your own external battery pack. But this is not a hacky thing. You don't have to do anything yourself. It comes as a finished product. You can snap on a standard, easily accessible, cheap, plentiful battery out there. You can get these things just about anywhere, and you can get them dirt cheap if you want to go to third-party stuff. And every single camera store out there on the face of the planet should carry these things, because they're an extremely common Canon battery. So you can just snap it on there, run for 5 hours on a single charge, and it's all sort of built in, so you can just clip the battery in. There's no, you know, messy wires anywhere, or belt packs and stuff like that, and cables, and, you know, hack together, you know, cage arrangements that are all big and clumsy to get this thing going. It's just a brilliant little thing. You can just slap your GoPro in, you know, handle or microphone or lights, or all three if you want, and the battery, and boom, away you go, and you've got this just brilliant little powerful camera, and you're able to make the best out of the damn thing at last. Because let's face it, those of us who own GoPros, particularly the GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition, love them for good reason. They are brilliant cameras, amazing cameras, but the battery life is close to being unacceptable sometimes. Like I said, if you're running with the in a high quality mode with the LCD backpack on, you'd be lucky to get an hour out of a battery, and that makes life difficult sometimes. But this thing, take my money. You know, I don't want to start speaking like a meme on you, but you know, take my money. Well, it's right over there. I've got $150 sitting in it at the moment, I think. You know, I could go just live on rice and noodles for a little while. That's my shopping money for the next little while. But yeah, I'll eat rice for a couple of weeks to get one of these things as soon as possible. Photography and Cinema, are you listening? I'll send you this video, because I'm pimping out for you for free. This isn't a sponsored video or anything. It's just a product I came across that I thought, that's brilliant. I know some people who might think that's brilliant too. I better tell them about it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I am Blunty. I'll get back to my regularly scheduled, non-ramble, well, slightly rambly, well, okay, still rambly, but planned videos soon. A bunch of review stuff coming through that is equally nifty, including more photography and cinema stuff. Come to think of it, I've got another cage for another camera that they actually have out in the market at the moment for a GH3, custom designed for the GH3. It's a brilliant little thing, but for a review of that coming, well, actually I better make it sooner than later now that I mention it and let the cat out of the bag. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Blunty. I will catch you next time. Ramble.